Good morning everyone, Matthew here at UKWF for a video brief taking a look at the weather in some detail through the next 24 to 48 hours or so. And clearly, as we've been indicating for a good number of days now, there is a lot of active weather out there, starting with the wet and windy weather which will spread eastwards across many areas today, and then the risk of severe gales across parts of Scotland tonight. This is then followed by the colder interlude on Friday, before the potential for some very large rainfall totals returns across some western areas of the UK through the course of the coming weekend. So there is a lot to keep an eye on. Starting with satellite imagery, which is clearly looking quite impressive, there's a rapidly deepening area of low pressure, this feature here, passing to the west and northwest of the British Isles. Now this region of cloud here, this feature here stretching down just to the west of Ireland, this is a cold front, and behind this is where the colder air lies, originating from parts of Canada. Now this cold front will progress eastwards across all areas of the British Isles through the remainder of today and overnight into Friday, bringing a spell of quite squally winds and also some heavy showers and localised downpours. Clearly this area of low pressure will track to the west and northwest of Scotland, and then just to the north of Scotland this evening and overnight, and it is just to the southern flank of this low pressure where the winds will be the strongest, and again particularly across central, northern and western areas of Scotland, as we've been indicating for a few days, winds perhaps up to 70 to 80 miles an hour are certainly possible into the overnight period, so quite a stormy night ahead for the far north of the British Isles. So we'll take a quick look at some forecast weather charts now, just to highlight the expected weather through the next couple of days. So here we are, Thursday the 12th, around about midday. There's the area of low pressure just to the west of Scotland, and there's the wet weather moving into the west, along with strong winds as well. This is highlighted by the close proximity of the isobars, these black lines here. As you can see, however, through the course of the remainder of Thursday afternoon, particularly central and eastern areas of England remaining relatively dry, fine, with some bright or sunny spells. But note how the wet and windy weather quickly spreads eastwards through the evening and on into the overnight period. And as indicated, is behind this weather front, colder air will then filter across all areas of the UK, and this really will be quite a shock to the system after the very mild weather of late. So we start on Friday the 13th at around about 6 AM with a lot of showers packing into parts of Scotland, northwest England, Wales and Ireland. Some of these increasingly heavy with hail and also falling as sleet and snow, particularly above around about 400 to 500 metres across parts of Scotland. And essentially that summarises the rest of Friday. Very strong and gusty winds across many areas, particularly Midlands northwards, and again some of the showers locally heavy with hail, perhaps even a rumble of thunder, and again the showers will be wintry on high ground across parts of Scotland in particular, but perhaps even as far south as the high peaks of the Pennines. Again, clearly it will be much colder than of late, and that will be accentuated by the strength of the wind, with a strong or near gale force west or northwesterly wind dominating. Now the showers die away on Friday evening. Generally, most areas then have a window of somewhat drier weather to start Saturday morning. However, what we're keeping an eye on now is this next area of low pressure from the west. So here we are now on Saturday the 14th around about 9 AM, and you can see, there are a few showers dotted out, particularly across parts of Scotland, perhaps into northwest England, but otherwise Saturday morning starts pretty chilly, perhaps with some local frost, but again there will be a lot of dry weather. But this is the next system which is causing some concern. This is forecast to move across parts of the UK, particularly across parts of England and Wales, perhaps into southern Scotland as well, during the course of Saturday and on into Saturday night. And as a result, as you can see, as some of the forecast models and the charts are highlighting, by the time we get to the start of Sunday the 15th, 6 AM, some very heavy rain may well be in evidence across parts of southwest Scotland, Cumbria, Lancashire, so northwest England in general, and also down into North Wales. And clearly it is across these areas where there's been a lot of rain of late over the last few days. So another 40, 50, 60, perhaps even locally 70 millimetres of rainfall across these regions is certainly possible this weekend, which again, combined with a lot of rain over the last few days, is likely to lead to an increasing risk of flooding across these areas as the coming weekend progresses. Note a change in wind direction. The isobars following them back become more southwesterly, so it will become milder this weekend. But as we indicated in a blog post last night, this rising temperature will be temporary, and by the time we get into the start of next week, winds once again become more west, if not northwesterly. As you can see, by the time we get to Monday the 16th, winds have become again more westerly, so a drop in temperature is expected next week and beyond. So a lot to keep an eye on. Keep an eye out for any watches and warnings that we issue in the coming few days. There are likely to be some watches and warnings issued for that heavy rain in particular on Saturday for parts of the British Charles, and again, as ever, we will keep you updated. So thanks for tuning in, and enjoy the rest of your day.